What do you do when your board member keeps skipping meetings, barely participates, and refuses to show up to your events? But they're also one of your biggest financial contributors. This is not a hypothetical. This is a real situation a nonprofit founder came to us with. And the moment she told me the details, I knew this is the exact conversation nobody wants to have and almost nobody knows how to handle correctly. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what happened, exactly how we use the Passion and Purpose Toolkit to build a conflict resolution blueprint, and exactly what the founder did. So stay with me, because if you're building a 501c3, what you're about to see could protect your organization before this ever happens to you. Here's why this specific situation is so dangerous for nonprofit founders. You are not running a business where you can just fire someone. This is board governance. And inside board governance, you have three competing obligations pulling against each other all at the same time. Duty of care. The board must act in the best interest of the organization. Relational integrity. Major donors require relational stewardship. Fiduciary accountability. All board members carry fiduciary responsibilities, including duty of care, duty of obedience, and duty of loyalty. And here's the part nobody tells new founders. When a board member isn't participating, it's not just an inconvenience, it's a governance liability. Board directors are generally expected to serve on at least one committee, help with fundraising, attend fundraising events, and contribute their own funds. Board members who aren't willing to fully participate can drag the rest of the board down. So a founder came to us, and let me paint a picture. This board member had been missing meetings, wasn't contributing to discussions, wasn't attending fundraising events. On paper, they were a liability. But here's the complication. They were one of the organization's most significant financial contributors. So the founder was stuck. She knew the governance issue was real. She knew the board couldn't function with this dynamic, but she also knew that confronting this person the wrong way could cost her organization thousands of dollars in lost funding and potentially damage a relationship that's taken years to build. This is not a people problem. This is a structure problem. A structure has solutions. You might be worried about confronting and offending a board member because they may also be a major donor to your nonprofit or an important member of the community. And this founder was living that exact fear, and she needed a framework, not feelings. So here's what she did. She opened her Passion Toolkit, and then she opened her board conflict resolution blueprint. And from here, she added her bylaws and her conflict of interest. And then she input three core variables. And the issues were that the board member was missing meetings, pattern wasn't isolated. The issue 2 was lack of engagement in discussions and events. And issue 3, a major donor status and financial relationships at risk. And what the toolkit returned was not just a list of suggestions, it returned a structured evaluation across 3 dimensions. So it talked about governance concerns. From a governance standpoint, the documentation reflects a pattern of non-participation that left unaddressed creates fiduciary exposure for the board as a whole. Then it talked about relationship concerns. The financial contribution history must be factored into the transition strategy. Abrupt removal without relationship management would have risked the donor's disengagement. And then it recommended next steps. Step 1, private conversation using valued-based framing. Step 2, offer a role transition to an advisory council status. Step 3, document the conversation and outcome in board minutes. The toolkit didn't guess. It evaluated, it didn't react, it structured. The Passion Toolkit governance aid are moving from novelty to norm. Platforms now auto-summarize and evaluate governance situations in seconds, freeing volunteers, board members from the burden of navigating complex decisions alone. The founder printed the recommendations. She didn't walk into the board meeting with her emotions. She didn't walk in with fears. She walked in with a structured, documented framework, and that changed everything. The conversation shifted from personal to professional, from confrontational to governance review. And they were also able to discuss a path forward without the relationship being damaged. What the toolkit did was it removed the emotion from the equation and replaced it with structure. And this is one of the most powerful things a nonprofit founder can have access to. A highly individual who can no longer serve in a formal board capacity can be transitioned into an advisory council status. This keeps them closely connected to the mission and engaged in fundraising efforts without occupying a formal governance seat. This is exactly what the founder did and was able to offer, and the board member accepted. The relationship was preserved, and the governance was restored, and the organization moved forward. Now, here is what I need you to take away from this. This situation can happen in your organization, but here are the 3 things your nonprofit must have before it does. The first one, a board attendancy policy in your bylaws. Your bylaws are the legal rules for your board. They explain how to add or remove board members, so review them carefully before making any changes. And then a conflict of interest policy on record. Nonprofits are legally encouraged to have a conflict of interest policy per the IRS Form 990. The National Council of Nonprofits suggests being as detailed as possible about potential conflicts and the steps for addressing them. And then the third one, a donor stewardship plan. This is separate from board governance. Strong governance also builds trust. Donors and supporters have more confidence in organizations with well-run boards, which can directly help with fundraising and secure your nonprofit's future. When you started your nonprofit, you were probably thinking about the people you wanted to serve, the community you wanted to impact, and the mission you were caring for years. What nobody told you is that the structure behind your mission is what determines whether you survived. The founder in this story didn't fail. She didn't lose a donor. She didn't damage her board because she had access to a tool that helped her think strategically, not emotionally, in the most high-pressure governance moment of her nonprofit's life. This is the difference between a founder who is passionate and a founder who is built to last. And that is exactly why we built the Passion Toolkit. If you're building a nonprofit right now, or you already have a nonprofit and you know this conversation is eventually coming, the Passion Toolkit was built for this exact moment. It includes the board conflict resolution blueprint we just walked you through, governance framework, donor communication templates, and more. The link is in the description, and I want you to use it before you need it, not after. To access the Passion Blueprint, click on the link below, and I'll see you in the next video.